Hello, I'm Zim. This is my channel where I talk about things because I can, and today I want to talk about the game I'm Scared. Now, when you think of fourth wall breaking horror games, I'm willing to bet your mind goes to examples like Kinito or Doki Doki Literature Club, and those are wonderful games in their own right, but they haven't stuck with me quite as much as this one in particular. Before I get into the game, I do want to preface that this video isn't a conventional deep dive, it's me rambling about a thing I like and glazing it for however many minutes. If that's not your thing, I get it. I just really love this game and have thoughts and interpretations that I'd like to share. Just be glad that my videos are short and I'm not running a two-man podcast. I think that would be a lot worse. I would love it if I could go in depth about the gameplay and how the game acts like a virus, but I'm just genuinely not tech savvy enough for that. This will be more focused on visuals and writing, especially the dialogue. Quick warning that I'm Scared is a horror game and does have disturbing themes like suicide, loneliness, and death. I find it more emotionally taxing than frightening, not that it isn't scary, just maybe not through conventional means. This video itself won't be insanely heavy, it's just courtesy to say, keep those in mind. And with that out of the way, you know what you're getting into, let's talk about I'm Scared. I'm Scared, also known by its full, very fitting title, I'm Scared: A Pixelated Nightmare, is an indie horror game by Ivan Zanotti, also known as My Madness Works. It was originally released in 2012, but was significantly expanded for its Steam edition, which was released in 2016. I actually originally found out about this game through watching Let's Play videos when I was like 10 years old, and I never stopped thinking about it to this day, and for very good reason. The antagonist of I'm Scared makes an appearance in another game I was obsessed with when I was growing up, which is Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion, specifically its Endless mode. That's just a fun bit of extra content I wanted to bring up. The most notable addition to the game in recent years is the 2022 remake, and I'm touching on this now just so I won't disappoint anyone later. This video will not be focused on the Restorer storyline. I do like the Restorer, she's a very fun character, but she is primarily a segue from I'm Scared to its upcoming sequel, Remnants of a Scare, and her story is easy to separate from the bulk of the game. If you don't know who she is, she's a fan of the game who converted herself into Data, entering the game and restoring it after the original antagonist's death, which is what made the game cursed and unplayable in the first place. I have nothing against the Restorer, I just didn't have nightmares about her when I was a preteen, no hard feelings. When Remnants is out, I might talk about that too. I'm sure it'll be great, just like its predecessor, and hopefully it'll have the same meta mechanics. The fourth wall breaking aspect of I'm Scared doesn't really seek to catch you off guard, it's immediately shown to you. Even in the game's Steam description, which reads, I'm Scared is a horror game that protagonizes the player and puts him in a surreal first-person experience. Find keys, open doors, and search for the exit to this nightmare. But I have to let you know, it will try to deceive you as many times as it can. There's a direct message to you. Notably separate from the player in the first half of the description referred to as a lowercase him, whereas you is capitalized. This message isn't just for anybody playing the game. There's obviously also the shift from talking about the game to talking from a first-person perspective. Whose, we don't know, and that's what makes it so intriguing. The introductory text to the game begins as a series of instructions. This game might be blocked by your system, here's where to go if you have issues, please use headphones, and so on. Then we see, I'm really sorry. This wasn't meant to happen. I didn't want things to go like this. Forgive me. From the very beginning, I'm Scared tells you what's what, but still manages to pull the rug out from under you as it goes on. Something is wrong with this game, but you aren't quite sure in what ways yet. It also immediately messes with your emotions. I didn't want this to happen, please forgive me, pleading, vying for sympathy. You feel bad for this narrator before you even know who's talking. Like I said before, I don't know the technical ins and outs of I'm Scared, but I do know that fake blue screens containing instructions, going through the game's files, editing text files, and using information from your actual computer are all necessary to progress the story. This aspect is so heavily integrated compared to other games where the fourth wall is broken that you very, very quickly accept it for what it is. It's almost in the back of your mind. It's not a nice game gone wrong, or a game where a character unintentionally gained sentience. The game itself is the antagonist's domain made to keep you in its company, and that antagonist has always been alive in one way or another. The game generates new text files as it progresses with information from the same unnamed narrator who seems to be trying to help you escape and end the game. They provide information on how to play as well as foreboding warnings. It's alive, it's real, it's changing again, just like last time. These text documents are also how we learn what it is. There is a way to turn an entity into data. They have a life of their own, and it's difficult to distinguish them from normal computer files. In our actions of every day while we sit at the computer, this bite entity observes us and studies our every move and fear. It is Whiteface. Whiteface is probably one of my favourite horror game antagonists ever, and it's definitely among the most interesting out there. It's a pitiful creature, a living, digital being that observes you from within your computer just to feel it has a purpose. Now, something of note is that Whiteface knows about these text files. Whiteface knows you're reading them, trying to progress the game, and it lets you. After you read the note describing Whiteface, it even asks you its name, as if checking that you've read it. I might be wrong, and this is just a personal theory, but it's always felt to me like this other narrator is part of Whiteface's deception, creating a game and false stakes to keep you invested. It's a digital entity after all, it can't do anything unless you're on your computer. It's making a fake conflict to keep you here and keep your attention. Again, theory, don't come after me. I just think it would be a very interesting idea because the game is telling you over and over and over again that it's deceptive, but you fall for it because the one warning you about the lies is the one behind it all. There are so many layers to this manipulation. I think part of why this game has always stuck with me so hard is because Whiteface's desperation feels so incredibly real compared to other metagames antagonists. Not to say that any others are bad, but they just never struck the same chords in me. Whiteface is not malicious, it's behaving the same way a frightened animal might. It's scared of you leaving, scared of being alone, scared of having no purpose, scared of dying should you finish the game. Every mystery, every false ending, every note can be explained by the fact that this thing is doing absolutely everything it can to keep your attention, which, assuming that's true, is quite anticlimactic. There's just something so human about how its loneliness is expressed. Whiteface doesn't do anything insanely mean. It's not like Monica or Kanito, no threatening your real-life friends or killing competition. It just wants company. Not to own you, not to hurt you, just for you to stay. I wrote down a few lines Whiteface has which really get this point across. Stay with me, I will always be here, looking at you. Feed me, share me, play with me. I'm yours. I don't want to die, I want to help you. Please, at the end of this, do not kill me. I really want to be with you forever. Obviously, there's inherent discomfort with the idea of being watched all the time, of having your privacy invaded by a living entity in your computer, but think about it. How lonely must this creature be for just having you around to be enough? It's not asking for much. Even as you play, Whiteface just watches you, barely participating. Watching. There is an eventual real ending to this game, and it's a choice. Pick a red flower and the game resets, you can play again and spend more time with Whiteface. Leave through the door, the game ends and becomes completely unplayable, and the text explaining this reads, "Welcome to the door. This is your last choice. If you enter this door, our game will end for real." Our game, as if Whiteface considers you an equal, a friend. Please pick up the flower and give it to me. I will reset everything we did until now. It's pleading, there's no threatening, no blackmailing, just begging. Please. If you choose the flower, there's no big reveal of some evil motive all along. Whiteface says, "You're so kind to me. So kind. Play with me forever. I love you." And just look at that little face. Look at that little face. If you leave, however, everything in the game is stripped to black and white and will only lead you to a shrieking, glitching sprite of Whiteface. I begged you, what do you think will happen next? You made this game unplayable. I made this game unplayable. I don't want you to kill me. I'll live here forever. I don't want to die. I'm scared. I begged you and you ignored my request. You don't even deserve to be touched. Just die already. Only at the very end does it get mean or violent, at its very lowest. And you did this. I know I probably sound like I've fallen for its crazy manipulation tactics, but Whiteface is the game. If you end the game, you end Whiteface, and it does not want to die. It's terrified. And who among us... among us? No, but seriously, who among us isn't afraid to die? It's an incredibly real, relatable, human fear. The fear of what's next, the fear of losing everything you know, the fear of being left alone. Even the title is a cry for help from the get-go. That's why this game has had me in a chokehold for as long as it has. Because despite the fact that Whiteface is just a spooky little bunch of pixels, I understand it. I'm scared of very similar things. IMSCARED is known for its very simple graphics, but it is masterfully crafted. The character designs, the writing, the soundtrack, it's really amazing to me, and the theme music of IMSCARED is only a few notes, around 4 if I remember correctly. But it's so eerie and effective and has several variations throughout the game which use different instrumental types and filters very well to add to the atmosphere. Some sound quite pretty while others sound almost grotesque. I also interpret the repetitive nature of the theme as reminiscent of Whiteface's monotonous trapped existence. Listening to this long enough would drive you crazy, so imagine how Whiteface feels. There are also other memorable sounds like Whiteface's laugh or how it screams and cries, and those emphasize to me that Whiteface isn't evil. The laughter is playful, only creepy because it doesn't sound human, it only wants to entertain you. Its screams are pained and distraught, they're not angry. As a horror game, it has disturbing visuals, but thanks to the nature of the style, it relies on very specific methods to make them come across this way. A simple desaturated colour palette, so the red will always stand out as a sign of danger. Messy text written in presumably blood as a stark contrast to all the other text in game in its clean blocky font. Whiteface, and its other form, her, always creeped me out when I was younger, and I think now I have a better understanding of why, because yes, they're very simple, but they're uncanny. Just about human-shaped but quite wrong and smiling in a way that feels like a predator showing its teeth. The ending you get should you choose to leave Whiteface is full of loud, screeching, flashing text and imagery. It's very typical jump scares, but even then, it's not full of anything gory or graphic. You're watching a creature that is supposedly alive, breaking down, screaming, crying and begging because of something you did. Even the language it uses and the sentence structures are very straightforward, but it's the repetition and the careful use of personification versus objectification that are so effective. All in all, IMSCARED is a game that seeks to convince you that you've installed a living entity that wants to play with you and watch you from your computer. And what I'm trying to say is, despite its deceptive simplicity, it does a damn good job. I know this video probably wasn't very enriching, and I am well prepared to be called a pseudo-intellectual or whatever for the language I use, but I admit it was entirely self-indulgent. I just sometimes think about Whiteface and I get so upset on its behalf it's not even funny. I really want to see this game continue to be talked about because I think it's incredible, and it's still getting new content as time goes on, so it makes sense not to forget about it. Usually if I bring up this game in conversation with other people, they haven't heard of it or they maybe watched Markiplier play it and never thought about it again. And I'm not criticizing that, I just think it's a shame. Genuinely, this video exists because I wanted to gush about it and I had no one to do it with. Please go and play it or watch a playthrough if you can't play it. Please, 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 please. If I ever figure out a way to record or play games in general without frying my laptop, I might make a video of the game itself or its sequel someday, but I absolutely will not promise that because this thing runs like a janky toaster. Either way, I'll still make videos about games in future. Now, before I finish this up, I do want to say thank you for 2,000 subscribers. I know that doesn't sound like a crazy number, but my channel has been around for like a month, so it's crazy to me. Anyway, yeah, love you, bye-bye, I just lost the game. Oh, no, dude, it's part of my outro bid, not a literal game. We can still hang out, just let me wrap this up, okay? Right. Thanks for watching, subscribe, follow my Instagram, see you in the next one.